I have Mr. Sam Wagman.
We finally made it to football. It's been a long 6 months. One of us is actually a good bettor, and the other one is getting better at
Again, my hand.
betting. But some of his overs, some of his betting over. His open score dropped from 95 to 70.
It's recording. Awesome. Hey, you've got Adam from Outlier. This is the first kickoff of the Outlier Insights Show that you remember doing last year, and a lot of my friends came on. You see one of them to the screen. I think if you're watching, it's this way, or I don't know. For me, it's this way. But I have Mr. Sam Wagman of Football Guys and Rhythm. Sam, what's going on?
We finally made it to football. It's been a long 6 months, but this is one of the you've become a bit of an MLB nerd the past couple of years, but I know you still like to nerd out for football a bunch, so this is a happy day for the both of us, and it's the culmination of a few months of work and prep and planning, and making sure that one of us is actually a good bettor and the other one is getting better at betting, which I know is your favorite thing to say.
Sam ruined the punchline, but for those who follow me on Twitter, I drag Sam routinely. I treat him like the runt of the litter of a little brother, but he is in my group chat, and I do actually respect him on a number of things, including football. He's very good at a lot of that stuff and really, really good at golf. Part of my winning one and done team that as of press time, we have still yet to be paid for, but we should be getting paid by Monday. Not getting us off topic, but what we're going to do today, guys, and this is the first one we're recording, and Sam gets to be my first guest. We're going to talk through a couple things that we like, going through it through Outlier, probably reference some other tools that we really love. This is airing on Friday, so any takes that we have about the Ravens, we could just tell you now, and you probably won't. In hindsight, you won't get to see him. For me, it's just that I think Justice Hill is going to absolutely vulture touchdowns, and that's why I like him to score tonight. I don't know, Sam, do you have something about the game that will have occurred by the time this aired? Do you have anything just out of the blue on that one?
I like Rashad Bateman. The Chiefs run a lot of too high coverage looks. At least they did last year, and things shouldn't change that much despite the fact that L'Jarius Sneed is gone. I still think they're going to run a lot of the same coverage shells with, Spags there that worked last year. And Bateman looked really good against too high coverage at the times that he was on the field last year. So I do think he's a sneaky flex play tonight. If you're looking for something in fantasy, you shouldn't be in a position where you're starting him. But some of his overs, some of his betting overs are definitely in play.
If you're in a 16-team league where you do it, it's kind of like, I don't know. Actually, I kind of want to pull up now. I want to find his stuff on here, but I don't want to. We'll get off topic. Look, let's just get right into it, man. We're going to talk about some season-long stuff, and then we'll give everybody future, a prop, a side, and a total that we like this weekend. So everyone bear with us. We will get it, and then I'll put a link. And honestly, Sam thinks these things through, so they'll probably win. Okay, who are you fading the most this season?
Yeah, I know the popular thing has been to fade Tyler Lockett early in the summer and then really get back on him when his ADP drops through like a stone, because Tyler Lockett has been nothing if not reliable over the past couple seasons. But time might be coming to an end. His ESPN open score, which tracks a bunch of things, among them how often a receiver gets open, what kind of quality of catches he's getting, what kind of targets he's getting, all of that fun stuff. His open score dropped from 95 to 70. The second worst score of the last 7 years for him. His target efficiency dropped from 71.8% to 64.8%. I don't know. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to step up and take the wide receiver 2 spot in Seattle. And while I love this offense's potential under Ryan Grubb, who orchestrated the mother of all air it out offenses in Washington over the past several years, I'm just not sure that Geno Smith can support 3 strong wide receivers in one season. I think Lockett starts his fall off this year. I haven't really been targeting him in any of my fantasy drafts. I think this is all DK Metcalf and JSN fully in on the youth movement in Seattle as they look to transition into, new offensive staff and probably some new offensive players in the next couple of years as well. But I don't think that's going to include Lockett.
Yeah, I think it's a transition year this year, and I'm actually, I actually tied to this. I'm fading the most is Geno Smith. He's
Really?
not. I'm fading Geno Smith. He's not McDonald's quarterback. To me,
That's
when
true.
you also acquire a quarterback on a rookie deal, if a 5th round rookie, I'm not saying Sam Howell was the truth or anything like that, but like it's very clear they want to give him a chance. I also know what the floor was with Pete Carroll, and I don't know what the floor is for this team here. Pete Carroll teams never lost more than 7 games. So
Very
I
Mike
think
Tomlin-esque in that regard.
right. And I think that this team could be really bad. And I think that starts with kind of Geno Smith, who I think is not terrible, but I do not think is as good as we've thought the last few years. And so actually on like a lot of underdog slips, I've actually taken his under 22.5 touchdowns for the season because I just think a lot of ways can go that way. So somewhat tied. I'd love him this weekend for what it's worth. But anyway, okay, who are you buying the most?
Yeah, this is a popular answer, but it's Drake London. New quarterback, new offensive staff that isn't Arthur Smith. Literally anyone would have been an improvement, but getting Zach Robinson and a bunch of guys from the Sean McVay tree, that's possibly the best thing for him possible. And then getting the quarterback who was the most accurate quarterback in football before he ruptured his Achilles halfway through the season, and Kirk Cousins, another positive thing. Adding Michael Penix, well, an interesting thought, literally sets the Falcons up to be relevant throwing the ball and making Drake London relevant for the next 5 to 10 years really easily. So that's the start of it. We knew Drake London was this freaky athlete, 6'4.5", 215, really good. The only problem was he can't separate. And that's kind of shown through the first couple of years, but I really
see it
think
in his longest reception. Look at his longest reception stuff. It's all low. It's all 22 and lower. So you can tell.
I think London makes sense. Like we've gotten spoiled over the last couple of years by all these 1st and 2nd year wide receiver breakouts, but it wasn't that long ago that the 3rd year wide receiver breakout was the most popular metric in determining a wide receiver success. Nico Collins, prime example. Underperformed statistically, but the underlying analytical numbers were there for Nico Collins in terms of yards per route run, catchable target rate, stuff like that. And a lot of people foresaw his breakout, including me, who like to hang my hat there. But I think London's profile really sets up well. Freaky athlete, like really can just make every single catch there. I think he's been really, really hurt by Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke and Mariota and Arthur Smith, all of these really negative offensive influences over the past couple of years. And I really think we haven't seen him do near what he can do with the ceiling. So I think the stars can align for him to be one of the most dangerous red zone threats in football. Justin Jefferson saw 28 red zone looks in 2022, which was Kirk's last full healthy year. Clearly the top number in the NFL. And I think London can really get up there this year. There's a possibility he has 13, 14 touchdown receptions this year.
16 red zone targets last year, 30% of the shares. You can see it here. Bijan Robinson had 10 and in 20% of the targets. It doesn't feel like he ever got in there. But
Bijan only had 1 carry inside the 5. Like it was just ridiculous last year.
I don't know what they were trying to say.
I think this offense completely changes from a schematic look and like how efficient they're going to be and using their top options like inside the red zone. Like we're not going to see like a Cordero Patterson-esque usage from Zach Robinson. Like he knows what he needs.
No, but you might. Well, I don't know, man. He's on the Steelers now, so there might be there's a revenge angle this weekend. But
I like that, and you'll see that later.
Okay. All right. So this kind of ties into some of these things. Real quick, give me your let's start going into what some of our favorites are overall. What's your favorite future?
So this is the fun one. I tweeted this a few weeks ago. James Conner to lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns at 70-1.
Love that number. I love it.
And I'm pretty sure it's still there. I think I saw it on a book at 80-1 as well. But I know DraftKings is still at 70-1. 39 red zone touches over the last couple of years, converting 9 touchdowns there. Trey Benson's there, and he's a great athlete, and he's got high draft capital. But the coaching staff has been very, very clear. Conner is the starter. It's not going to be close. You're not going to see a 60-40 split. This is at least 70-30, potentially even more split. We know Conner has 3 down potential. He can carry, he can get dump offs. Kyler Murray, sneaky large check down rate over the last couple of years, especially on third downs, ranked near the top. I think it was in the 9% range in check down rate. PFF does a great article called Captain Checkdown that measures the check down rate every year. Connor's always on there. Nice dump off magnet. But I think the Cardinals offense will be a lot better than people think. They're one of my sneaky picks to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're a sneaky pick to win the NFC West as well, if you really want to be a degenerate. But he's got 45 total touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. I don't know how you can argue against that. Remember, a couple of years ago, Evan Silva made the Jamal Williams touchdown bet of Jamal Williams to lead the NFL in touchdowns at like 150 to 1. And Williams wasn't even the starter. Connor's kind of an afterthought. He's obviously the starter, but he's an afterthought almost in his own offense because of the Trey Benson addition. And I think he's going to get a lot more running room inside the 5 and goal line looks than people think. So give me Connor all day. I think he can get 15 again this year.
Yeah, I like that. I have a similar one. I mean, I'm not giving this one out as my official because I didn't want both of us take competing most TDs. The same rationale why I like Gus Edwards to lead the league in TDs.
Yeah,
like it's the exact same type of situation where he's not going to be the every down back, but he absolutely could have a Jamal Williams type of role and just be racking them up. So anyway, I do like
Greg Roman, Harbaugh, like no receivers of no. Like it's
no, I love it.
J.K. Dobbins is a massive risk.
Yeah. So mine is I like the Steelers to be the last unbeaten team. They actually their schedule leading up into the bye, like they have back-ended all of their AFC North games. There's a real, like, if they get through Atlanta, it basically they catch a lot of folks on really, really good travel situations. And it's also Tomlin, and I just kind of believe Ollie's in the ceiling of that kind of team. But 35 to 1. I found it for them to be the last unbeaten team. And look, that could be 5-0 and it would be fine. But I'm into that. So anyway, let's get into the stuff for this weekend. The people that have hung around and wanted to do this. What is your favorite prop this weekend? I've actually see who you have listed, and you talked about this guy all the time last year. I will vouch that you were on this wagon before everyone else was. Give me your favorite prop for the weekend. I'm going to pull it up on Outlier.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see a ton of points in this Houston and Indianapolis game. It's a dome game. It's Anthony Richardson's first game back. Both games last year were pretty solid barn burners between the Texans and the Colts here. This is the game that decided the AFC South last year. I think we'd be fools to think that both teams aren't going to want to come out and punch each other in the mouth a bunch of times and trade some blows. We know CJ Stroud loves throwing the deep ball. It's only going to be personified in a dome even more. Anthony Richardson, obviously extremely explosive from a fantasy output, running the ball, throwing the ball. His on-target percentage was actually a lot better than people think. He threw an on-target ball 71.6% of the time, which ranked right in the league average. Like he's not as inaccurate as people think. People took a lot of looks, at some of the issues he had this summer. I just think there's not much there. Developed a really good rapport with AD Mitchell. But to the actual prop, Nico Collins over 24.5, longest reception, -115 at multiple different books. Yep. Over in 10 out of 17 games in 2023 and over in both games against Indianapolis.
Look at that. Look at all that green.
Yeah, I mean, tons of freaking green for this guy. He's a downfield magnet. Something I just saw this morning, actually, Stephon Diggs is the guy that Bobby Slowick and the coaching staff think is going to get most of the in the middle of the field targets. Makes sense. Short to intermediate game, Diggs fell off a little bit, from a route running perspective and a speed perspective last year. So I think Tank Dell and Nico Collins will do a lot of the downfield work while Diggs does the short to intermediate work in this offense. Really opens up Nico Collins here. Wide receiver 3 in yards per out run.
His yards after catch is nuts.
Yeah, I think he was the top. He was either first or second in the NFL in yards after the catch per route run.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, his average per reception is 15.5. You only need 9
Yeah.
more of that for this to cash. I like this. I like this a lot.
And the main thing is that Indianapolis uses cover 3 a ton, and the wide receiver 3 in yards per route run against cover 3 coverages last year, Nico Collins. So it's really easy for me here. I really like it. It only takes 1 shot, like you said, and only 9 yards over his average. So perfect.
Nice. Okay. So I went gone back and forth on mine. I went Baker Mayfield to throw for not 300 yards, for 250 yards against the Washington Commanders. Commanders gave up the second most 300-yard games last year. They didn't actually really fix it. Despite Dan Quinn coming over as coach, they didn't really fix anything on the defensive side. Let me just pull this up so we can also just look at it. Look, Baker only knows one thing, and it's and it's just F it, I'm throwing deep. I get it. Canales is not there anymore. I don't think that's going to change much. I like this game. I also like Tampa as a sneaky survivor pick because you got a rookie quarterback making their first pick. His line, it's been all week. It was like 245 to whatever. Just go with the 250. He's hit it in 5 of his last 6 games. 7. Like dude, the guy does it. And you look at his home games in 2023, look at that. Like over in all but 3 home games last year. I like laddering this, to be totally honest, but it's a little early in the season to do that. So look, Washington bad offense, Washington bad on ADOT, which is, by the way, nerd stat for average depth of target. Give me Baker Mayfield over 250 yards. I'm even gonna put it here. We'll go there. So okay. Favorite side that you like this weekend? Man, we're giving a lot of love to this team in our discussions. Tell me, what's your favorite side?
I mean, you'll never find me going against Mike Tomlin as a dog. Like 60% winning record as a dog. Like we said, Arthur Smith revenge game narrative.
Yeah.
I can't believe
we're
saying such a thing.
Patterson revenge game.
I can't believe we're saying such a thing. Russell Wilson is not as bad. I don't know where you stand on it. I don't think Russell Wilson is as bad as people think he is. I actually think that he's
they still won 7 games. They won 8 games last year.
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson is going to be absolutely fine. I think George Pickens is a fucking dog. And
that I don't agree with, but it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I think George Pickens, I wanted him to be a lot more than he is. I think look, you can say your cap. I completely agree with this play, just for what it's worth.
The non-nerdy people don't love George Pickens like I do. Yeah. I always thought he was an absolute studly talent coming out of Georgia. But yeah, I mean, this is an easy play for me. You're getting a hook here. The hook is great. I think that line has actually gone down to 3 at this point. But I still recommend buying the hook. I took the hook, and I will never fade Mike Tomlin as a dog. Like it's a simple cap. It's a simple cap. Steelers dog take.
Nope. Most of that I agree with most of everything other than don't buy hooks. But I think that the biggest thing for me is that the Steelers team is so consistently disrespected, and you cannot tell me that there's a world where the team that did what they did last year is that Kenny Pickett is better than Russell Wilson, or this team is, quote, 3 wins worse according to win total stuff. I don't believe any of that. So I love this. I think that's great. I'm also very
Atlanta loves giving yards up on the ground. At least they did at the end of last year.
They never improved their defense. Judon coming over doesn't really tell me anything. He's a mercenary. Like that doesn't really do anything.
Najee and Warren, like one thing Arthur Smith did good is he knows how to innovate cool run concepts. Yeah. And I think he's gonna do that again here with Najee and Warren.
I think he'll be he will be fine with the personnel that he has there. There was a bet that was floating around of Warren or Najee, one of them, just betting both of them to rush for 1,000 because one of them will do it. For me, what did I list as my favorite side? Oh yeah, living in Boston and hating Boston. I'm on the Bengals. I'm on a Bengals alt, to be honest. Look, I got the 8.
Ooh, it's fun.
Just do Bengals. Look, let's see what we're going to take here. It's one of the things I love about this is that I can find giving Bengals win by 10 at even money. That is an official play. Look, I think this Pats team is going to stink. I think they're going to be so bad.
Brissett's so bad.
It's
so
not
bad,
like,
dude.
and you know what the thing is that they're terrified to put out Drake May because nobody wants to see, because if Drake May comes out and is bad, someone heads are going to roll, and no one wants to take the blame for that kind of thing. That is, that defense stinks. The offensive line stinks. Ramondre Stevenson's the best player on that team, and he kind of stinks. Antonio Gibson, who is basically a poor man's Ramondre Stevenson, but weighs 100 pounds less, stinks. All of these guys stink on this team. This team is going, there's a good chance that the Pats die and give up on the rest of the season. Give me this. Add an alt. It's my favorite play on there. All right, Sam.
Yeah, I was on the other side. I was on the other side of that game up until about 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, it's just there's no, it can't. On the road, no, I'm not doing that. All right. And what is your favorite total for this weekend?
Yeah, so you and I went back and forth on this morning. But I like Seattle Denver under 42. This does kind of go back to your Seattle comment and my Denver comments from earlier. I do think that rookies going on the road and making their first start in the NFL, especially playing in a place like Seattle, which is a notoriously difficult place for anybody to play, much less a rookie making his first start, much less Bo Nix making his first start. Recipe for absolute disaster there. Yeah. Seahawks defense is improved to say the least. McDonald is going to have, some cool stuff cooked up there. A little worried about Seattle kind of just dumping on Denver. Like I'm going the same route. I'm going to take Seattle as an alt in this game, probably -6. I think they're going to just blow out Denver in this game.
I love it. And
I think this could easily be like a 27-6 kind of game.
I took fellow one and done member of our team, Patrick Goy. He and I are in Circa Survivor this year. I've never done it before. I've done millions, but doing Survivor. And we're on Seattle because we are never going to take Seattle again the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And we are never getting an opportunity for Bo Nix to be playing his first real game in arguably the toughest stadium to play in.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Extremely difficult to go
extremely
into
difficult. Like top 3 at least. You might as well be a Pittsburgh Steelers game at night on a Sunday.
Or Cleveland in November,
or Cleveland in November. I completely agree. For me, here, let me add that there. I am on first of all, let me put yours in. Yours is the under here, and then I am on. So I'm on this. Wasn't alt when I liked it before, but now the market's catching up to me because I'm so damn sharp. Dallas and Cleveland.
Congrats on that CLV.
Yeah, really. All the Kings. Under 40. In this Cowboys Browns game. Actually, dude, take it down to under 36.5. I think this game is going to so you have a team that likes to run the ball against a team that has has grown into a solid run defense and actually has stoppers there. And you have a team that thinks that they're going to pass the ball a ton, but their running backs are still Zeke Elliott and Rico Dowdle. I know you're a little higher on Rico Dowdle than I am. I think he's a little.
I'm not high on Rico Dowdle at
Did you
all.
I thought you picked him up in something. I don't know. Maybe you had something. Oh, anyway, I don't like.
Rico Dowdle hater.
I actually do like Dallas in this game, full disclosure. I think that this is a good Dallas spot because the market's so low on Dallas. And I
took Dowdle over 6.5 carries in this game simply because it's 6.5 carries, and that's just an outrageously low number.
That's a super low. But there's the thing: you're just gonna run clock. I get it that I respect this Cleveland defense. I respect this Dallas defense. I don't think either of these teams' offenses are really good. I'm not a big fan of quarterback situation in Cleveland, and these just aren't explosive offense teams. Cleveland didn't become an explosive offense team until Joe Flacco took over. And it's because he's 45 years old. He just wanted to wing it. So anyway, give me this under here. I like it honestly. I actually wouldn't. Let me see, because the hit rate on it is probably. I mean, look, you're playing with fire either way. It's fine, but yeah, dude, you could do look at that under 39.5 plus 112. It's the exact same hit rate. So I'm actually going to give that out in there too. Forget the 40.5. If you guys get hooked, if you guys lose, you're going to lose. You're not going to do it this way. And it actually got down to 39.5, and then it went back up to 40. So, all right. So this is good. This is the good first show. We got, so from you, we got Nico Collins, longest reception. We got the Steelers plus 3.5, and we got the under in the Seattle game. For me, we got the under in the Cowboys game, Cincy on an alt, and Baker Mayfield passing. Awesome, dude.
Eclectic
Sam,
group.
Yeah, really. Sam, you're going to be on a lot. I'm going to have you. I'm going to have Steffi. I'm going to have a bunch of people. I will, as usual. Actually, this is the season I'm not going to drag you on Twitter when you do things. You've grown out of that, and you've done a really good job. But tell everybody where they can find you, because you are worth a follow.
On Twitter at Swagman95. You can find a multitude of my content over at Rhythm this season. I'll be doing 4 weekly articles over there covering all the Island games, plus a Rhythm roundup every single week, tracking some of Rhythm AI's player props using our player prop modeler, and then doing some video content over there. And then football guys, some fantasy stuff, weekly rankings, Discord AMAs, betting stuff. You know the drill. All across the Twitter sphere, yelling about football if you can find it, and then golf at some point in January. And
did week 3, you will be like, I told everyone about Drake London. I'm low on this. Like I said, I'm low on that Falcons team, but I do like Drake London. All right. So for Sam, I'm Adam. You know how to find me and do that stuff. This is going to be a fun season, and we will see you soon. Good luck with all.